Hi.
Hi ladies, hi. Can you hear me all right? You're upside down. I'm not quite sure why.
Oh yeah, I've got it on my phone, so I thought it'd let me do it landscape. Maybe not.
Perfect. No, it's a bit funny. Perfect. I can see you just about, so that's fine. So.
Hello.
Hi guys, welcome back to the video.
How you doing? How are you doing?
We're gonna talk serious stuff.
How does that make you feel? So this week we're going to talk about the implications counselling that we need to have for using donor sperm and myself being a donor of my eggs.
What was that?
Me giving, you can't even see it.
Yeah, just ignore that.
Yeah, that didn't happen. So we've had to do this counselling twice now, so we feel like we're a bit of a pro at it.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in touch with talking about my feelings now.
So
hold up, you left the bedroom door open and I closed it so that it didn't look too bad. Quick run.
Okay, go back.
Thanks, that makes me feel slightly better.
So where were we? So
feel like you're a pro at counselling, talking about your feelings, emotions.
Yeah, I won't go that far.
Yeah, so we had it for, first of all, we had it when we first started the IUIs, and we had it for the donor sperm. That was probably the most awkward experience of my life.
It was really awkward.
I hated every second of it.
It was like the counsellor just sat at us instead and was like,
Go.
It was a massive waste of time.
And then she'd tell us something and I'd answer the question and then she'd go, and how do you feel about that? Or she made us read out a book. That was horrific. She made one of us read a children's book out to the other person, pretending that they were the child.
It was the most awful thing ever. Basically, the purpose of that exercise was just, there are these books available if you want help telling your children about donor conception.
But we knew.
We didn't need to read the book out to each other.
Yeah, and she just sat there and judged me. I swear she was judging me.
But yeah, that first counselling appointment was a massive waste of time. Every single thing that she told us, we already knew. And
if we said that, if we even kind of gave like any kind of like input, what's the word? Like said that we kind of knew or wanted to, I don't know, we said that we'd already read up on that, she dismissed it and basically made out as if we knew nothing, which...
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
So we wasn't actually really looking forward to this egg sharing counselling. We were kind of thinking it was going to be another waste of time, very awkward. However, actually it was alright, wasn't it? Yeah, it was a massive
lot
difference.
better than the first time.
Like one end of the scale here for the IUI and then woo, the other end of the scale here for the IVF. So
yeah, no, it was ridiculously different. So we still covered using the donor sperm for us, but we also discussed me donating my eggs, being the donor.
And just other stuff, actually told us stuff that we didn't know, like not even that was just related to egg sharing, but told us stuff we didn't know and we hadn't heard of on websites and things.
It was really, and the fact that we could do it over Skype, so we sat in our living room. Yeah, and it was so much fun.
I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about that at first, but actually it worked out better, and the lady was really, really lovely. She was really engaging. I think it makes a difference. If you're going to be a counsellor, you need to be engaging, you need to have that kind of...
people skills.
Yeah, you need to have them people and communication skills. She had them.
Yeah, no, she was really nice. So what did we speak about?
Was there anything that you are worried about in terms of using donor sperm?
No.
Anything you're worried about in terms of you donating your eggs?
No, initially it was just the fact that initially when we first thought of egg sharing, the only worry was if it didn't work for us and it worked for the recipient. That was the main worry. And we initially said... This is
something the counsellor asked us, isn't it?
Yeah, so we initially said that if it didn't work for us, we just wouldn't ask if it had worked for the recipient. But then thinking about it and talking about it with the counsellor, she made a very valid point of, but if you find out, at least you will then know that your eggs have worked. So that will be reassuring for yourself, reassuring for the future, and it will help us like guide where we're going from there.
Yeah, kind of like guide the treatment for the
so
next next cycle.
It'll be tough to know that, but I think now we probably would ask.
Yeah, maybe just not straight away. Like,
Yeah,
you
give
give
it
yourself
a
a
bit
bit
of
of time to kind of come round to the fact that you've got to go through it all again. But yeah, no, I agree. It was a really good point that she made. One of the other things that I quite like, so I maybe had one little worry, and I need to word this without sounding. I'm not very good at wording things, okay, so I might sound like an idiot, so bear with me. So my one worry was, so obviously using donor sperm, like our donor can have up to 10 families in the UK, yeah?
Yes.
Obviously you've always got to have that in the back of your mind. You don't know if that family that's used that donor and has had a baby is down the road. You don't know whether the children are going to meet at some point. Let's be honest, like, not talking from personal experience, but kids have sex, okay? Like, I work in a children's ward. I had like a 13-year-old.
Hopefully they don't do it there.
Oh no, 13-year-olds have sex, and it absolutely
freaks you out.
Amazes me. Like, I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Okay,
yeah.
But it happens. So that was my only concern, is you donating eggs is increasing the chances of there being even more genetic links out there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so we want it to work first time anyway, like this, whatever. But I think if you end up having to, not having to, but if you donate your eggs more than once and the recipients get pregnant and you don't, you're increasing the chances even more. And that is my only worry, is that they can find out when they're 16 or 18 or whatever who is who if they need to. But that doesn't mean that that person they've had sex with at 13 and maybe accidentally got pregnant, like...
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's a very small chance. Like, come on, like we like our donor is from the US, and
yeah,
like.
But we didn't really get an answer or a resolution to that in the counselling, did we? But that
I don't think we really spoke about that. That's just my one thing that is maybe like that would be my
13-year-olds just stop having sex.
Yeah, please, and younger.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the only thing that I've thought about that makes me think. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. Of course it makes sense.
But it doesn't put us off in the slightest. It's just something that's in the back of your head. But also I think that comes with, should I say this without sounding like parenting skills, the way you bring your child, like what you bring your child around. Like, my child comes home and tells me they've had sex at 13, I'm gonna beat their ass, okay?
Not literally.
Not literally, yeah. Do I say this stuff on camera anyway? Carry on.
It's okay, we can cut that bit out.
No, I'm gonna beat their ass.
So what else did we discuss?
So one of the things that also was new to us.
Should we talk about the basics first? So we discussed the legal side of anonymity, that obviously that we don't have it. So when the kid is 16, they get to find out if they've got any donor siblings. When they're 18, they get my last known details. So that is one thing that we discussed. Obviously we have known that since we initially first started looking into this, like over a year ago. So when they've told us that both times, we'd be like, yes, we know. How do you feel about that? Well, I've had a lot of time to get used to it, so we don't really care. It's
not that big of an issue.
It's just something that happens. So if they want to do it, we'll support them. If someone wants to contact me, that's completely fine. I've gone into that knowing that that is a possible outcome, and
if they don't want to contact you, that's also fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. It's cool.
Exactly. Whatever the kid wants.
Yeah. Well,
so now what were you saying?
So I was going to say about something else that we didn't consider, that this lady very kindly told us, was there are family website things out there now, what we call like family tree and stuff like that. I know that my family are on there. I don't know.
I don't think mine are.
Okay, so and it's more about you, this bit, really.
So basically what they were saying is, although there's these legalities that they find out when they're 18, my details, but she made the point of saying, with all of these websites out there now where you send a bit of your DNA off and you get matched with these distant family members, she said you got to bear in mind that there's a possibility that what if hypothetically one of these kids or your kid when they're younger than these ages,
16 or 18, yeah.
steals your credit card and sends their DNA off and gets matched with your family or yourself or anything like that.
And
like
maybe,
if they didn't know they're donor conceived,
yeah.
or if they don't, or if your family don't know about the situation, it'd be like, what? And they could connect each other by that way. And we've not thought about that at all.
No, she just made it, said that you need to make sure that your family are all on the same page as you. And that, you know, if you are on these websites, if somebody does reach out to you in that way, that you all need to be on the same page, basically, because it shouldn't be happening, but it does.
Yeah. Obviously there's like age limits and stuff on these websites, but it's like signing up to Instagram and Facebook, isn't it? Yes, I'm over 18.
I never did that. Instagram.
So no, that was really fascinating, and that's not even really an issue for just for before they turn 18, because that can happen at any point. Like even if they decided they didn't want to connect when they had the they can have the opportunity forever from when
you
they're 18.
don't want your family to reach out to them either. Like if they come across them, like I said,
if that kid doesn't want to.
Genetics aren't an issue, but my family at the moment are on like family tree website things, and they are reaching out to people. You don't actually know whether they where these other family members have come from.
Yeah, and if this kid has decided that they don't want to have anything to do, they don't want to have any knowledge of any of the donors' family, or that could be quite difficult.
It's just something definitely to consider. That
watch your bank cards.
We never even thought about. Watch your bank card.
No, it was really interesting.
My
and that
brother
was...
used to just steal my mum's bank card for the PlayStation, Xbox. So watch your bank cards. So kids, don't have sex at 13 and don't steal your credit cards.
Oh, what else did we learn? Not really much, to be fair.
I don't know, where's she from? Have a quick look.
We've mentioned the books and stuff, so they're really interesting. So we knew there was books in existence, but we found out at the first counselling appointment that you can get them through the Donor Conception Network website.
That was really good.
And obviously just on Amazon.
That's probably the only thing we took away from that first counselling session.
Yeah, so we went and had a look at them. So that'd be really good. I'm really looking forward to getting some of those.
Yeah.
I'd love that. That'd be cool.
She gave some other websites and things, didn't she, like to look at? Bear with her. I've got my feet on the radiator and they're right burning.
I don't know why you put your feet on the radiator.
Continue.
So, another thing that we wanted to talk about, that we discussed, was the decision whether to tell your children if they're donor conceived or not. Now, the current thinking through like research and stuff is tell them. It's a good idea. They've got a right to know where they've come from.
Definitely.
Which we 100% agree with. We'll be telling, and we discuss like how to tell them.
Yeah, we definitely have to tell them, because like I said in previous videos, I've got no sperm. It's going to be pretty obvious the child did not come from my sperm.
Yeah, but and also telling them that I've been a donor as well. So when if someone does reach out in however many years, it's not a shock to our child.
Yeah, that's something
like,
else
what's
we
that
didn't really think
about?
of.
Yeah, so we didn't really think about that either. So we've got a lot to tell our kids when
and it is actually quite a lot, and it is probably going to be a big thing for a child, like, and it's, I guess, you need to find when they're at the right age and the right maturity level, and how much detail to go into with everything. And I guess that's just something you're going to have to judge.
Yeah, I think it depends on the child as well. So I'd like to start discussing it from a very early age, with using these books like bedtime stories, and just show that there's more than one type of family, which obviously there's many different types of family.
Yeah.
So we like to do it.
They all got their own drama.
And I'm sure as the kid grows up, they'll have more and more questions, and it'll get more and more uncomfortable. But I think you've just got to be honest. Like, you don't want these kids getting confused. And
no, exactly. I did have something else to say, and I've forgotten what it is.
Sorry if there's no structure to this video. We literally just decided to sit down with a coffee and talk about it.
I love coffee.
I love coffee.
Sometimes I love coffee more than Lucy. Jokes.
What did you want to say?
I forgot.
Amy's got to edit this.
Oh yeah, clap.
Hi, editing Amy.
Like I said, Lucy and I are a bit rubbish with counselling and things like that, but some people really need that and they want to talk about it, and it might be a really big struggle for them, which is fine. And I think it's a really good thing to have that option of the counselling that comes with the clinic, and it's great that it's out there. And
yeah, definitely.
There is definitely some good counsellors out there.
So if you are struggling, make sure you Google search, and there's plenty of counsellors out there. I'm sure they've got like reviews and stuff, and they'll say on the website who offers Skype, who doesn't.
Skype's a great idea.
Skype is a very good idea. We really enjoyed all just the ease of being able to do it over Skype.
In my PJs, in the bottom half of my PJs, I think, or joggers, one of the two. I just had to make sure I dressed appropriately.
We actually took some clips of the counselling.
Yeah, I might put some in.
Do a little bit of a montage thingy at the end, maybe. That'd be quite cool.
It's also really important for you to know or be aware of as a donor and as a recipient that you and your donor has the right to withdraw consent at any time, at any point along the way. So that includes embryos. So for example, with your IVF, I guess it's really important that you know that your eggs could be stored to come back to have a subsequent child. But whilst the eggs are frozen somewhere, at any point you can say, actually, I've changed my mind, I withdraw my consent for any of those to be used, and you can't do anything with them, but you can ensure they're not used. So, and that goes for your donor. Sorry, I missed what you said there.
I didn't know that.
No, and that also goes with your sperm donor. So you could have embryos created with your IVF, you could have them sitting there waiting to come back for a subsequent child, and just as you're about to come back, your donor could change his mind and say, actually, I withdraw my consent, and then they wouldn't be able to be used. So it's important you're just aware of that. It happens very, very infrequently. I've been doing my job since 2005, and I've never known a donor to withdraw a sperm donor to withdraw consent. Very occasionally I've seen it happen with people who have donated eggs, because I guess from the two of yours perspective this is really important to consider, and I always say the worst case scenario, and I'm not sure whether that's really accurate, but a case scenario is that it could work for your recipients and it doesn't work for you, and you could check in and see that one baby's been born, two babies have been born, and I think the time I see, the most likely time I see with consent to be withdrawn is perhaps when somebody's recipient has had, say, 3 children and they're still struggling for their one, and it seems to be unfair that they might get their 4th and they're still struggling for their one. I noticed you said you don't think you're going to find out.
Thank you very much for watching.
Give it a thumbs up.
Ding ding. Hope you end. Have I said that about 5 times? What's wrong with me? Why am I struggling with life? Thank you very much for watching.
Hope you enjoyed the video.
Give us a like rating. Bye bye. Subscribe.
Your eyes look so blue.